people, welcome back to my channel, Beauty Herbs and Tea. My name is Abril and I am a successful herbal wellness entrepreneur with herbal products, herbal courses, and herbal retreats, and my own in-person herbalism school and retreat space, okay? And here on this channel, I teach you how to do the same. This is our Back to Basics Herbalism 101 series where I teach you the fundamentals of herbalism just in case you want to become an herbalist or start making your own herbal product. Okay, so the first video in this series, we learned all about how to make tinctures, okay? I gave you a step-by-step broken down class, okay? It was very, very thorough on how to make herbal tinctures. If you have not seen that, go ahead and click up here and watch that video. It was a great detailed video on how to make herbal tinctures. Now, in this class, we're gonna talk all about how to make healing herbal salves. That is another type of herbal preparation that you would make as an herbalist, or if you want to sell herbal products, you can add this to your line. All right, now before we get into this video, I have to talk about my in-person upcoming herbalism retreats as well as my international retreats. Yes, I have my own herbalism school and retreat space where I host herbalism classes and herbal retreats. So coming up in September, we have an indigenous doula training course. If you are looking to get into indigenous-based birth work, or if you're a female and you want to learn how to care for your womb, this retreat is for you. It's for all the girlies, okay? And then in November, we have our weekend herbalism course. This is great if you want to learn all things herbalism. This is a 30-hour herbalism course taught in one weekend. And lastly, I am taking people to Africa. This November, we are headed to Zambia for an African medicine retreat on a safari. Yes, you heard it right. We are going to learn about herbs on a safari. You will make 3 to 5 African herbal preparations a day. You will harvest herbs from the bush. You will explore and visit different indigenous villages. You will learn indigenous medicine. You will then go on safari game drives and see animals in the natural habitat. Y'all, okay, if you've been wanting to come on my international retreats, this is the last one I'm doing in a very long time, okay? So book your spot. And if you can't make it in person, I do have a virtual traditional medicine mentorship program where you can learn all of these things online. All right, so as a herbalist or herbal product maker, here are the top herbal products or herbal preparations you will make. You have herbal tinctures, which I showed you all how to make in this video up here. You have herbal teas, and then you have herbal salves. Those are going to be the top 3 herbal preparations, followed by herbal syrups like an elderberry syrups or herbal infused vinegars, and then oxymels, and then herbal capsules. Those are the most popular herbal preparations that you may sell in your business or you might make for your family. Of course, there are tons of other herbal preparations. I may list them all over here. These are just some examples of what you can make. Now today we are going to learn how to make a healing herbal salve out of this infused herbal oil right here, as well as an infused African herbal salve too, because we're going to Africa, so why not show the people, okay, some of the preparations we're gonna be making, all right?
Okay, here is going to be your collection of herbs that you can include in your herbal salve. I included herbs that you can purchase from the herbal store, as well as herbs that you can forage outside. So let's start down here. So this right here is going to be plantain. Now, plantain is an amazing skin healing, skin soothing herb. It's going to be great at helping to soothe those bug bites. Poison ivy, helping to heal wounds. We also have comfrey as well. Comfrey is a tissue regenerative herb as well as a bone regenerative herb. Comfrey should only be taken externally or applied externally. However, our ancestors did take it both internally and externally. And so you have comfrey. This right here is going to be yarrow. Yarrow is an herb that can help your blood to coagulate. So this is going to be a great herb if you are bleeding out, okay? If you're bleeding out, you need something to help stop bleeding. Yarrow is a go-to herb for that. Yarrow can be taken both internally and externally. Over here, we have herbs that you can forage. Right here is a pine. Yes, go outside and harvest you some pine from the pine trees, y'all. I will use the pine resin in my salves. The resin in particular can help to draw out anything in your skin. So think if you have a splinter, pine resin will help draw that splinter out. It will help draw boils out. It also is great at soothing cuts. So you can either infuse your oil with the needles, but the resin is most potent. Over here, we have the leaves of the beauty berry tree, and then we have dog fennel. These are going to both be great if you want to ward off the mosquitoes and the bugs, okay? Native Americans actually use these both to help repel mosquitoes. This one is honestly my favorite because it's so pungent. It is so pungent. It smells like fennel. It smells like fennel, and I normally just crush this up and spread it all over my body, and this is my natural mosquito repellent for the day without putting any on. Now the next herb right here you can buy in a store is calendula. Calendula is going to be an amazing #1 go-to herb that you will find in most skincare, herbal skincare, hair care, face washes, lotions, salves, cream, because the herbalists love calendula, okay? Calendula is going to be an amazing skin soothing, skin healing herb. Calendula is going to help to repair your skin. Calendula is also antifungal, so think ringworms, think dandruff, think athlete's foot. You can make a salve out of this for those things and other antifungal things as well. This can be taken both internally and externally.
Now, the first thing you may want to know about making salves is herbal solubility. I will put that somewhere on the screen. Now, herbal solubility is important because not all herbs can be made with certain material. There's a reason why you might want to make a tincture versus an herbal tea versus an herbal salve, because different herbs may be soluble using different solvents. Now, a solvent is what you use to extract the yummy medicinal properties from the herb. So for our herbal salves, we're going to be using oil to extract the yummy medicinal properties from the herb. So again, not all herbs are soluble in oil. So that's important to know when you start making your herbal salves. Y'all, I just burned myself. This is why you would want an herbal salve for this. I just burned my freaking skin off my arm. So I have an incense burning right behind me for the mosquitoes, and I turned around and it was too close to my arm and literally burned the skin right off. So honestly, this is a perfect segue into why you would want to it hurts. This is a perfect segue into why you would want to make an herbal salve. It is amazing for the skin. So maybe you have dry, itchy, eczema prone skin, okay? Or maybe you have some cuts and some scrapes and some bruises. An herbal salve is great for that. Or if you didn't got bit by a bug, you got poison ivy, or if you get burned, okay? Herbal salves are great for that. Next, let's talk about which oils you should use. Not all oils are created equal. I have my favorite oils. Other herbalists have their favorite oils, but we're gonna go through some of the oils that you can use. Oils that many herbalists and product makers use for their salves include olive oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, almond oil, sunflower seed oil, and what's the last one? And avocado oil. Now, I like to use grapeseed oil because it feels amazing on your skin. It's also very fast absorbent. It's good for your hair. It makes your skin feel buttery, smooth, and soft. So grapeseed oil is my go-to for all my salves. I also like to add virgin coconut oil into my salves because it gives it that extra antimicrobial properties. And if you make it yourself or you buy it from Africa or the Caribbean where somebody made it themselves, it smells so good, okay? But baby, use what you got, okay? If you got olive oil in the pantry, use some olive oil. Don't go outside buying no fancy oil, okay? Use your olive oil. Olive oil will work perfectly fine. Look, okay, we are herbalists on a budget, okay? We are frugal herbalists. All right, don't go out buying a whole bunch of stuff. Use what is in your kitchen cabinet. All right, y'all ready to make some herbal salves? Let's go.
All right, first let's talk about the steps to making an herbal salve. The first step is making an oil infusion. Now, to make an oil infusion of the herb, you want to dry these herbs out. You never want to make an oil infusion with a fresh herb, just because it has a lot of water content, and that water content will make your oil and your salve go rancid. So step one, harvest your plants, dry them out. Okay, so step two is to make an oil infusion out of your dried herbs. Now, for the sake of time, we're going to discuss how to do the ancestral method or the eyeball method. If you want the more technical parts method, please revisit my herbal tincture video. Now, for the eyeball method, all you gotta do pretty much is just make sure that the herb is covered with oil. It's that simple. So you're going to take your dried herb, you're going to put it in a jar. Either you will stuff the jar and fill the jar all the way up with the dried herb, and then you're going to cover the dried herb with oil. Make sure the herb is fully covered and fully submerged in that oil. Or if you don't want to cover or fill the jar up completely, you can fill the jar up halfway with that dried herb, and then make sure that the herb is covered with the infused oil. It's that simple, y'all. It is that simple. Now, this all depends on how much salve you want to make. So make sure you do your calculations. I will give you a simple recipe after this, which will pretty much help guide you in making your salve and how much to make. All right, next let's talk about all of the ingredients that is needed to make this healing herbal salve. So first thing you're going to need is your infused oil. So I am using a comfrey and plantain infused oil, as well as a guaco infused oil. Guaco is an Afro-Caribbean and Brazilian herb. It's grown in a lot of the tropical parts of the world. Guaco is an amazing herb that I discovered helps stop the itch. Okay, I went over to the Caribbean, grabbed some guaco vine and rubbed it on a mosquito bite. Itch was gone. So whatever infused oil you're going to use, that is going to be on your list, followed by some essential oils. I am using citronella. What is this? Frankincense and bergamot. You can use whatever you would like. It can enhance your blend, or it can just make it smell good. A measuring cup. If you are infusing any resin, you may need a cheesecloth. This is going to be my jars for my salve. You can also use a tin. You have your beeswax, cornstarch if you do not like a oily herbal salve, and then a double boiler. This is my handy dandy DIY double boiler. I am using a pot. I'm going to fill this with water and place a bowl on top. So here is my recipe. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of oil, 1 tablespoon of beeswax, and then 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, followed by about 20 to 30 drops of essential oil. Okay, we have our double boiler going. So when I say double boiler, you don't want to ever boil oil. You don't want to fry your herbs, and boiling it will actually help to destroy some of the herbal properties. So we use a double boiler. That way the oil never comes into direct contact with high heat. So this is a double boiler. You have water boiling underneath, and then you're putting something on top so that it's not direct high heat. We're gonna add our 1/4 cup to our 1/4 cup of oil to our double boiler. Next, we are adding 1 tablespoon of beeswax to our oil. All you have to do next is just stir. Stir until the beeswax is melted. That is all you do. Stir until the beeswax is melted, and as you can see, it melted in all of 15 seconds. Okay, next you're going to take your oil off heat. This is our oil, and you're going to immediately pour it into your measuring cup. I say immediately because this will solidify. So immediately pour this into your measuring cup and add your essential oils. So immediately you're racing against the clock here because again, your salve is going to solidify super quickly. Lastly, you're going to pour it into your tin. I'm going to pour the rest. You see that, y'all? It's already solidifying. I'm pouring the rest into this jar right here. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. All right, that is it, everybody. That is all I have for you today. Now, in the comments, okay, let me know, number one, did you enjoy this video? Also, let me know which herbal preparation should I show you how to make next. Or, okay, if you have a request, if there's anything in herbalism that you want to learn how to do, let me know in the comments. If you want to talk about herbs, let me know in the comments, okay? And if you want to learn how to make other herbal preparations, don't forget to join me in my in-person upcoming weekend herbalism course here at my herbalism school, or in Africa, okay? And for my folks who can't travel, don't worry, I got something for you too, okay? Online, we are hosting a traditional medicine mentorship program where you will learn how to become a traditional-based herbalist and how to heal your body using herbs from our ancestors that are right in your backyard. All right, that's all I have for y'all today. Don't forget to stay safe. Make sure you stay safe, okay? We got Ebola. We got the Hannah Montana virus. We got so much going on, y'all. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.